Good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday. I'm looking outside the window and it's really, really foggy here in Antioch. But I tell you, it's a beautiful morning. It's it's winter season, and most people, it's like I don't want to call it a seasonal thing because what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to, set up our bodies from summer to get ready for winter. You know what I'm saying? I've always said, companies are, clothing companies are very, they're very astute when it comes to when a style of clothes, certain clothes come out. You know what I mean? It's like during the summer, you won't see too much, like gloves. You know what I mean? You won't see too much, like heavy jackets, and things like that on the rack. You know what I mean? You won't see, too much, like beanies and things like to keep you warm. Scarves and in the summer. You know what I mean? Because it's hot. So you would think, that maybe the company went belly up, you know what I mean, or closed down. No, those companies, that do, like snowshoes and boots and, those kind of warm kind of clothing in the summer, their stuff is still on the rack, but they are, they're beefing up inventory, getting ready for the winter. You see what I'm saying? So when the winter come, boom, they're prepared, to service a demand. You follow what I'm saying? And then, like everything, from flip flops, when winter's here, flip flops, shorts, t-shirts, tank tops, and things like that. It's just rare, that you see it on display. You know what I mean? So you would think, maybe those companies shut down or went belly up. No, it's not. They just went back, to the manufacturer and they prepared, set themselves up, for the summer. You see what I'm saying? And so when winter, spring comes, all of the allergy, when spring comes, all the allergy medications come out. You know what I mean? Allegra, you name it. They all come out because, that's supposedly is the, allergy season, with polyps are all over the place, You see what I'm saying? So, what I'm saying is that you want to be able to prepare yourself, for the winter. Like the cases, are up. They're not COVID cases. They're the cold. They're the flu. They're the fever. They're the common cold. I mean, the flu and the cold and fever, allergies, kill more people than this, so-called big C19. You know what I mean? But then again, you wouldn't know if you're not in tune. Okay. So anyway, it's beautiful out there. That's why I say it's beautiful out there, because you know why? Because I'm staying warm. I'm not. I'm. There's no way in the world, staying warm, getting ready, to take all my summer shorts to the cleaners, get them all ready, get my flip flops ready, start to walk again, with my flip flops. Right now I'm walking with shoes because it's cold. My son Arthur, you know, um, he caught a cold, and so I always tell him, because I mean he was like me, when I was young, I wore shorts and four seasons, man. I wore shorts and t-shirts, and so now I keep telling him, I say, son, you got to put something on. And so anyway, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful Sunday. I'm going to talk to you about, healing and faith this morning. But I want to welcome you to our healing class. It's always a privilege and an honor to be able to sit on this side of the screen and teach you, share with you some findings, so that we can live, the everlasting life. It is just unfortunate, after, going to church for so many years, and yet you see, thousands of Christians just dropping, just dying. You know what I mean? And so we need some answers to that, because if God can do everything, then why can't God stop these people, that are coming up with these different viruses, right? First it was COVID-19, Then it was a variant, I think it is. Then it was Delta, right? And then now it's Omicron. Now they're coming up with a new one. You know, and it's all about money. It's all about money, everyone. Let me just share with you something I shared Friday. That this is when I say it's all about money. When you go to the hospital and you get diagnosed COVID-19, and you get sick COVID-19, that hospital gets $3,000 from you, from the one person. The feds give that hospital $3,000. Now, if that person gets worse and have to end up under the ventilator, then the feds give that hospital $30,000. It's all about money. Okay, and that's why I was saying about the COVID-19 2029. I believe is the letter is E. That is actually the common cold, but that's the one that they're boosting the cases up. That it is went sky high because it's and all the other COVID, have been undetected, and then that one COVID-19 229E is detected. So if you go on Google or Duck Search or whatever you want to do, go ahead and search it, and you will see that it's the common cold. Of course, it's winter. It's common. It's common for people that Anyway, so if you're looking for answers to your questions, you know what I mean? Like, why is it, that we're shouting in church? Why is it that we're speaking in tongues? Why is it that, we have prayer meetings? Why is it that we have, morning devotionals? Why is it that, we have, million links of prayer chains? You know what I'm saying? And then the links in the prayer chains are dying. You know what I mean? COVID dying, and this link fall off, this link fall off, and this link, and the million link prayer chain is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Why? So if you have questions, you don't want to ask a question and then leave it there. You know what I'm saying? To me, I'm a quite forward guy, right? I don't know how to. I do, but it's been too long. It's painful to see people, precious people, die. You know what I mean? But we leave questions unanswered because the truth of it is we're lazy. We're lazy to. It's easier just to have a devotion. You see what I'm saying? It's easy to just fast. It's easy to just get people to pray. But like this information that I gave you, COVID-19 2022E, 2029E, that stuff right there, like if you don't research that kind of stuff, you're going to always think, that this COVID-19 got us. It's not. It's the common cold. That's the only data or data that's through the roof because they can't supply. You see what I'm saying? I mean, compared to the vast nation, and it's only 1%. It's only 1%. You have 7 billion people on the face of the earth, and then you look at the death rate, 1%. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about like I disrespect the 1%, to be so mention it lightly like that. No. I'm saying that's how you have to do the research, because if this is the cases, right, but this is the death rate, that's what they're fooling us with. So don't just ask the question and leave it there. You want to be able to, like to be like the Berean Christians, every time the Apostle Paul and his colleagues, preached and teach, the Berean Christians will go home and they will study what they say to see if what they say is true. You follow what I'm saying? So you want to seek out answers for your questions, just like you would, in other areas of your life, talk to a mentor or a small group leader about them. Don't just be skeptical. You follow? Don't just live your life skeptical. seek out the truth. So I'm a firm believer, that God's word leads us to the truth. It leads us to the truth. God promises that if we really seek, after Him, we will find Him. You see what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about man. You know what I mean? This is why I'm saying. Look at this, everybody. That if God can do everything, right? If God can do anything, then why is it that that these evil people whom Satan is working through, right? These evil scientists, these evil doctors, you follow what I'm saying? Why, if God can do everything and if God can do anything, why not God, control everything from heaven and shut it down? Shut down these labs, shut down these pharmaceutical companies. You follow what I'm saying? That's making billions and billions a year off of us. Why not? Because he cannot. Just like Satan can only get his agenda done by working through someone. Someone had to be in those labs to create those viruses. Do you see what I'm saying? The problem with our side is that we have a bunch of worshipers, we have a bunch of praise worshiping, we have a bunch of, hype Christians, emotional feeling good kind of in the church, but nobody is allowing God to work through them to abolish, this evilness that's going on. This is so we don't have to worry about, when we study, right? We don't have to worry about politicians, even scientists, who are shutting down remedies, that's proven to help people. I mean, killing those doctors, that come up with remedies because it tampers with their bottom line. You follow what I'm saying? It tampers with their profit. So all those, I just want to tell all of you guys, because this is a healing class, right? The days of just calling, please pray for my, or please, say, prayer warriors, get the days of, we've got to dig deeper than that. You follow what I'm saying? Somebody has to do some kind of responsible research to be able to preserve the body of Christ, right? And those who study and those who seek Him, or will not miss out on God's, everlasting best. Those who study, you know what I mean? Because we don't want to study. Oh, excuse me. Of course, we want God to do everything. You know what I mean? We want God to, look what it says in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 13. Jeremiah 29:13. It says, if you look for me wholeheartedly, you see that? If you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me. You see what it says? If you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me. Look, praying and being part of a prayer chain, and fasting, that is not seeking Him wholeheartedly. You have to seek His ways. You have to seek His lifestyle. You have to seek how He does things in His kingdom. And then you have to do those kind of things. You follow what I'm saying? Like you have to understand, the importance of vitamins. You have to understand the importance of, water. You have to understand the purpose, of all of these, minerals that's available to us, sea moss, and excuse me, and do a better job in preventing sickness in your body. That's how you seek Him. If you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me. It's not just looking for Him. It's not you going to church. Going to church is the first step. You follow what I'm saying? But when you get to church, you got to be all ears as to this, the pastor speaking, taking notes and things like that, and then going back, and doing your study. That's seeking. You follow? In Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5 and 7 in the New King James Version, I don't know how to explain it anymore. But the Bible is very clear. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5 to 7, it says, get wisdom. Man. this Solomon, God asked Solomon, "What do you want?" And of everything that Solomon could have asked for, you know what I mean? Because he's the richest man that ever walked the face of the earth till this day, like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and Donald Trump. You put their money together, they'll never get the wealth of King Solomon. But King Solomon didn't go after that first. You see what I'm saying? When God asked Solomon, Solomon, what do you want? And you know what King Solomon said? Solomon said, give me wisdom. Ain't that something? Give me wisdom from above. And with that wisdom from above came all this trillions of dollars, gold, silver, bronze, all kinds of. It came with the wisdom. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate. Like this is I'm going to go off track, but it's unfortunate. This is the first month of January, right? Where I've been for the last since 2000. Me, when I say I trust God with my life, I trust God with my life. I honor God with my first fruit. You say, what is first fruit? First fruit is my first salary that I receive in the month of January. Not in the month of February, not in the month of March, in the month of January. I I make sure that my root is holy, because the scripture says when the root is holy, then the rest of the year is holy. When the root is holy, then the fruit is holy. You see what I'm saying? So my first, like, because money will never have me. You see what I'm saying? Money will, I will always have money because I put God first. So I take my first fruit. And listen to me very carefully. The Bible talks about you take it to your priest. Now, the first fruit is not for your priest. The first fruit is for you. First fruit is for me. But I need a channel. You follow what I'm saying? I need someone whom I can operate my faith, complete my faith to. You follow what I'm saying? Uh, that means God. I can't like I can't throw salaries up in the head. You know what I mean? So I need like a portal. You know what I mean? For me to go to. That's the act of God. You follow? So when I give my first fruit to my priest, it's not for him. It's for me. You follow what I'm saying? And because of that, I truly believe, that, God's best is on me, God's favor is on my life, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So when Solomon was asked by God, Solomon, what do you want? And Solomon said, give me wisdom. You see what I'm saying? And when God gave him the wisdom, with the wisdom, listen to this, everybody. I learned this principle of first fruit in 2000. When I learned about it, man, I tell you, I just jumped right into it. And then every first month of the year, I honor God with my first salary, which is my first fruit. There's a whole teaching on that. There's a whole teaching. I don't want to teach it no more, because I believe it's the next generation. I believe, it's the next generation's time to teach it. You follow what I'm saying? Like, if the next generation haven't gotten it by this point, by this time, then then you know what's going to happen. If I'm going to be with the Lord, then you know what? That whole teaching on first fruit is dead, and then people suffer. You follow what I'm saying? It's the next generation that needs to step up and teach first fruit. What I'm saying is that was wisdom that came upon me, and therefore, look what it says in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5-7. I had to do that, I had to digress because this is important, Get wisdom, like get, like, what? Can you put studying before you're praying? Like study first. You follow? And then after you study and you get some answers, then you can pray and thank God for the answer that you got from your study. You see what I'm saying? So get wisdom, get understanding. Look at this. Get wisdom, get understanding, and do not forget nor turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forget and turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, meaning do not forsake wisdom, and she or wisdom will preserve you. Wisdom will preserve you. Wisdom will preserve you. Not prayer, not fasting, not a prayer chain, not shouting, spitting, speaking in tongues. Wisdom. And wisdom will preserve you. Love her or love wisdom, and she will keep you. And wisdom will keep you. Verse 7. Look what it says, everybody. Wisdom is the principal thing. Wow. Wisdom is the principal thing. Now look what it says. Therefore get wisdom, and in all your getting, get understanding. So wisdom is the principal thing, but in all you're getting, you got to get understanding. Because even if you had wisdom, but if you didn't understand how to use the wisdom, you still lost. You see what I'm saying? So without understanding, everyone, without understanding, God may not answer, every questions we have, but he will answer if we've shown ourselves to prove, as you know in 2 Timothy 2:15. He will answer if we show ourselves approved. You know what he said? He says, unto you it is given to know the mysteries of God. Unto you it is given to know the mysteries of God. In other words, the mysteries of God was given to you. Now you go out and find out what is the mystery. You follow what I'm saying? So here's what I mean. That when we study to show ourselves approved, the Bible recounts many miraculous healings in both the Old Testament and New Testament. But without that deep study and that deep searching, that deep seeking, what we don't see is the mechanism. All right. Like say, for instance, CMOS, my son and his wife, they tremendous transformation in their health. And they have customers all over, California, and now I believe in the East Coast. But the thing of it is that if my son Alex and his wife didn't do the research, you follow what I'm saying, to study and to seek, that the minerals in this CMOS, is so like, then if he didn't study, then he would have never seen the mechanism, you follow what I'm saying, of the importance of minerals, which is a natural process in which something takes place, which is how these miracles happens. You see what I'm saying? You have to, oh my God. So I've seen people in my lifetime, get their miracles. I've seen it. They got their miracle. But you know what? But I've seen so many relapse of these same miracles. So it's not that God is not performing, miracles. He's performing miracles. The problem is that we keep, like when the doctor tell you that heart disease is hereditary, when the doctors tell you, that diabetes is hereditary, you cannot believe that. You cannot believe it's not hereditary. It's not hereditary. The reason why they say it's hereditary, because doctors know that when you come and you get diagnosed as high blood pressure, the doctors know that you're going to go back home and still eat the same food that cause high blood pressure and drink the same beverages that cause high blood pressure, which is what your parents ate, which is what your parents, you see what I'm saying? Which is what your parents ate. That's why it's hereditary, is because the diet hadn't been changed. But really, you can reverse the situation. Oh my God. See, we don't see the mechanism, which how these miracles happen. Sometimes, that's why, we was reading earlier, last year, that Jesus used mud, right? He used mud. Other times he used, he said that the woman just said, all I got to do is touch the hem of the garment, of Jesus. of his garment. Sometimes Jesus healed, from a distance. You follow? But we what we should what should we conclude from that? Spit, mud, hem. You follow? What should we conclude from that? I don't think Jesus is starting a mud healing doctrine. I don't think like God is Jesus is starting a hymn, healing ministry. So the logical conclusion is that mud or spit or the hymn in of themselves has nothing to do with the miracle. It has nothing to do with the miracle. If that be the case, then we would have mud, spit, and hymn revivals across the nation. You follow what I'm saying? So the question is, why would Jesus use them? Why would Jesus use them? Let's consider something else, right? Physicians do not really heal sickness. Doctors really do not heal sicknesses. They merely improve the condition for the body to heal itself. You follow? What should we do? What should we conclude from that also, right? The logical conclusion is that God created our bodies to heal themselves. So the question about faith healing is this: can the healing process be connected with the mind? Can the healing be connected with the mind? For instance, scientific studies show that placebos, right, or a harmless pill, a type of medicine, tree leaf, a procedure, or a sugar pill, shows that placebos were effective in healing because people, you ready? Because people believed. Because people believed the pills were the medicine, not the sugar. So same thing with spit, mud, and hem, and things like that. You follow what I'm saying? Isn't it true that the only reason we take prescribed medication from doctors is because of two powerful words: we believe. Is your healing wired to your mind? You follow? Our minds are wired to also believe. You follow? Our doctors, well, like you don't know the doctor. You don't even know who the doctor's wife. You don't even know nothing. But because they have an MD badge over here, there's a doctor. Your mind automatically turns over and says, "I believe this doctor." You follow? Our minds are wired to also believe our doctors and their recommendations. So, like I told you guys last year, in Samoa, we believe everything from Fosanga, to tea leaves, to fofos, to massages, to fiki the eye of the coconut cup, into our ears, etc., etc. And guess what? They all work. They all work. They're not in the Bible, but they work. Well, all this stuff comes from God, everybody. So I'm just going to read this last scripture. Then we're going to close. I got 2 minutes. So let's take a look at medicines, right? Let's take a look at medicines. We'll come back next month, right? Second Sunday of next month. Ezekiel chapter 47, verse 12 in the ESV. Ezekiel chapter 47, verse 12. Look what it says. It says, and on the banks, on both sides of the river, there will grow all kinds of trees for food. Their leaves will not wither, nor their fruit fail, but they will bear fresh fruit every month, because the water for them flows from the sanctuary. Their fruit will be for food. You ready? And their leaves for healing. Wow. That's why I take sea moss. Excuse me. That's why I take vitamins. That's why I drink water. Now that's information, what information is someone to believe, What information needs is for someone to believe it. You know what I'm saying? In 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 23, it says, no longer drink only water, but use a little wine for the sake of your stomach and your frequent ailments. Like, come on, man. Okay, so you're a born again Christian, and you used to go to the club, but that's the Bible. The problem with us is that we don't know how to control. We don't subdue alcohol. We use that. We use this scripture, as an excuse, to get drunk. But it says use a little wine for the sake of your stomach and your frequent ailments. Isaiah 38:21. Now Isaiah had said, let them take a cake of figs, look at this everybody, and apply it to the boil that he may recover. My God. Luke chapter 10 verse 34, he went to him and bound up his wound, pouring on oil and wine. I was watching my cousin, Pastor Eletino Tuyasopo, and and she was demonstrating, a remedy that, that her mom, my auntie, and even my mom, did, which is boil hot water, and then get a bowl, right? Get a Vicks, get the Vicks, get a big old tablespoon of Vicks, throw it in that bowl, right? And then when the hot water is boiling, and then you pour the hot water inside, and let it melt the Vicks, and then you get the blanket, and then, like, if this is the Vicks right here, then you just get the blanket, you put it over you, and then you just inhale the vapor underneath the blanket. It works. You ain't got COVID. You got a cold. You got a cold. Do that, right? Look what it says, Luke 10:34. He went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Revelations 22:2. The tree of the life, the tree of life, with its 12 kinds of fruit, yielding its fruit each month. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation. I'm going to put a mark right here. I went over my time, but I had to get all that, in, because it's a brand new year. It's a brand new year. You understand what I'm saying? Not only put God first in your life, honor God with your first fruit. Not only, go to church. Not only, honor God with your tithes and your offerings. Not only win souls to the Lord, not only, but you got to study also. You got to take your vitamins. Hit up my son Alex and make your order of the sea moth. He has sea moths. He has 3, different levels, and I got all 3, because here's what I do. I take the super blend. That's the first one, big old, like I had it this morning. And then I have the middle blend, right? That's what I have around 3:00 p.m. Then I have the low dose blend, and that's what I take before I go to bed. I don't play. I woke up this morning, had my devotion. Second thing I do is I have a 36-ounce water container of iodized water container. Boom. That's the first thing that go into my body. You follow what I'm saying? Here. You talk. I don't play. See? All my vitamins. This is vitamin A, B, C, D, E, CoQ10, zinc. Right here. I don't play. Because the devil don't play fair. The devil don't play fair. So come out of your prayer closet. And please do something responsible. All right? Do something that's going to cause you to live on this earth everlasting, so we can win the lost to the Lord, train and disciple them to do the same. You understand what I'm saying? Otherwise, your cloud is waiting in heaven for you if you don't understand what you heard today. Go back and watch this thing. Don't play with your life. You got that? All right. Anyway, I'll see you at the top, man. Don't forget to tune in at our 10 o'clock Sunday service today. If you're looking for a church, man, I invite you to come and join Sold Out Christian Center International here in Antioch. or there in Monterey, Salinas, Monterey, with Pastor Kit and Fele Totolo. Great ministry there as well. All right, I'll see you at the top. If you want to sow a seed, you can use ZELLE, Cash App, or Venmo, whichever is convenient to you, and sow a seed to this word that you heard. See you at the top if you don't stop. Take care and God bless. First, I want to thank everybody for purchasing your copy of Praise is What I Do CD. But this CD is special to me because I think about our God and not so much of what He's done for us, but who He is, and that He deserves all of His people to praise Him and worship Him. The scripture says in John chapter 4, verse 23, "For the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth." It also says in John 4:24, "For God is a spirit. They that worship Him must worship Him in spirit and in truth." It's not a cliche that when your praises go up, the blessings come down. It's true. Continue to worship God. He's worthy of